Hi guys, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video on a vintage pachinko machine. Certainly if you enjoy these videos, please click on subscribe. Getting close to 400 and would love to hit 500. And magicpachinkorestorations.com, good website for all things vintage pachinko. So today we're going to take a look at the fully restored Nishijin Model A. This is a customer's machine, and there are a number of things that I'm going to talk about this machine as just observations. Has nothing to do with the former owner, the new owner, anybody that touched this machine in its lifetime. These are just things that I observed based on observing a lot of pachinko machines. This machine got stored in a basement for probably 30 years. And the basement was an extremely damp place, and that is not good for pachinko machines. So if you know anybody that's got a pachinko machine and it's in a damp basement, tell them about it and rescue it. Get it out of there. It's just not a good scenario for a pachinko machine. What happens is when these things were made back in the 70s, they were not, all the wood was rough cut. The only finish they put on was just right here on the face. So that's the only thing that had any kind of finish on it. The rest of the machine was just rough cut wood, and rough cut wood will absorb moisture. Of course, everything that's metal will get rusty, so on and so forth. So when I received this machine, the main playfield board, which is attached to the front frame, once I got it off, got all the parts off and got it off, I could almost bend it. It was so spongy and not wet anymore, but it had suffered horrible damage. There was some mold on it. So I spent a lot of time gluing all the laminates back together in many places. And fortunately, the machine came out pretty nice. I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, the board is still warped enough that every once in a while a ball won't drop down through like it should, and you just got to kind of knock it and it's fine. So again, moisture not good for pachinko machines. He also wanted to keep this style feet on the machine, the side feet. My preference, again, no reflection on anybody that likes these feet, but my preference is to have the wooden feet that are on the bottom of the frame. The reason that I don't like these is the way they're put on. This edge right here and this edge here tend to damage the face of the frame, which they have. And also, once this one is on, you can't swing this open. It's in the way. So obviously, it's the whole back is open. You don't need to open the machine, but and if you're going to put it in a cabinet, you would take these metal feet off anyway. But again, just some observations. Now the wood is all taken care of on this machine. Everything's been sanded down, polyurethane, so it will not absorb moisture anymore. You can see how this board is still very dark with the moisture damage, spots of mold, and so on and so forth. But that's all, I should say, it's not skin deep, it's deep. I sanded off all sorts of mold and the darkness and so on, and then sealed this board with polyurethane. So it's not going to get any worse down the road. But it was in pretty rough condition. So another thing that this particular customer wanted was an alternate power source. What I've been using is the 12 volt little wall transformers that plug in here, and that's fine when the machine is standing. But if you build it into a cabinet and you don't want a power cord hanging out of your cabinet, then you can't use these. So we talked, and I installed a 9-volt battery in here. So all you got to do is bring this terminal onto the battery and snap it in place, and then the machine has power. I'll leave it that way, but when I ship it, I'll disconnect it. So you can either plug in to the wall, or if you're going to plug into the wall, disconnect the battery, because you don't want the battery hooked up when you've got power to the wall. But when you're not using this, then you're just going to swing the positive terminal over and snap it onto the battery, and then you'll have power. These are 12-volt lights. They won't be as bright if you don't use the wall transformer, but again, they're going to be fully functional. So this is kind of an interesting Model A. These two side attractions are pretty cool, and we'll talk about those when I swing the machine back around. But again, it's a typical Model A with the upper tray, the middle tray, the jackpot's over here. On a Model A, the shut and open is very important. You want to make sure this is up, not down in the open position. If it is in the open position, the balls simply run through the machine and exit down here. With a recycler, everything goes out the front. You don't lose any balls out the back unless you're emptying the machine. So when you first get this and you're getting ready to set it up, as always, I recommend just a handful of Pachinko balls in the upper tray. They should fall out of the upper tray, run down the metal track into the turnaround, down through here into the center tray, run down a double run, and fill up the jackpot chamber and stop. Again, if you're in the shut position, they stop there, and then they're ready to pay out when the machine is getting ready to be played. So we want to put enough balls in that it turns the ball out light off, and that's plenty. The weight is down, it comes off the switch and turns the light off. This is set up so that when this center tray needs balls, it'll automatically open and let balls into the center tray. So if you hear that noise, it sounds kind of weird, but it's simply balls going from here to here, and that's normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. So let's get this turned around. We'll launch some balls, show you the machine in action. So these side attractions here, let me move it in and get away from the glare. Okay. They're called Combat or Combination, and right now this one is open, this one is closed. So if a ball drops down through there, it just simply bypasses it. If it drops down in this one, it'll go inside of there and pay out. And the way that these get into this position rather than this position is to drop balls down through the center attraction here. When it goes down the center, it will open these. Okay. Also, when it does go down through the center, it'll open the tulip, and every once in a while, that's one of the places where the board is kind of warped, and every once in a while that won't quite go through the whole cycle. Again, it's just a little tap, little jiggle, so on and so forth, and everything is fine. So you put a handful of balls in the front tray and just start to launch. And the ideal position for launching a Pachinko ball on any Pachinko machine is get it to lose its momentum right up in this area so that it drops straight down, hopefully down through the middle, because just about everything keys off the center attraction. So we'll see if we can do that. So there we got a couple of wins. The first one started when a ball went down through this one, which was open, and then it opens this, and I got one in there, and so on and so forth. So it's a pretty cool machine. I like it. It's pretty. Let me show you If you can watch the two side tulips, you put this in, and that time it opened that one. And then it gets stuck. Let me drop another one in. Yep. All right. There it goes. All right. And the ball out light came on because the upper tray doesn't have enough balls in it right now. So let me put some more balls in. Alright. And it went down through that time. One other thing that I did want to mention, any Pachinko machine, when you set them up, should be tilted back just a little bit. What I mean by that is if this is your Pachinko machine, and this is the side, well, this is the front view of your Pachinko machine, you want it leaning back, obviously not like that, but you don't want it leaning forward. You want it tipped back just a little bit. And I've got these legs adjusted so that this machine is tipped back just a little bit. What it does is it keeps the balls against the play field rather than letting them get too far away from the play field so that they drop down through. Okay, so that's just something I wanted to mention. So I don't know the year on this because the sticker got covered up, but I'm pretty sure this is a 72 or a 73 Nishijin Model A. Hope you liked it. Thanks.